Happy Sunday morning, everybody. It is November something, around the 10th, 11th. Last night we watched some horrible movie on Sci-Fi about, what was that movie about, Peter? You remember?
Oh, I know Kappa Mega.
Oh yeah, we saw the Mega Croc one, but we also saw one about, what was it about? Oh, it was the Bering Sea vampires or something like that. It was horrible, just horrible. I did not have enough to drink ahead of time, and I paid the price. Anyway, so there's Peter. Peter's gonna help me. So today we're gonna do some cooking. We're gonna do some ribs out on the grill. We did ribs a couple weeks ago, went over really well. And so had a request to do some more, so that's what we're gonna do. We also had my oldest son, who's 18, heard we were having ribs, and he invited 5 of his buddies over for dinner tonight. So now we're making a lot of ribs. So I'm gonna show you how we do it. I actually had I threw out there on Twitter if anyone wanted me to make a video on how I'm doing ribs, and I had one response, Dawn Snarks, and I imagine she was just hungry because she hasn't eaten real food in days, but I figured I'd throw something together real quick and we'd show how we're going to do these ribs. It's going to be an all-day process, but we're not going to make this video all day. It'll be kind of short, right? All right, Peter's going to help me a little. First off, let's talk about what we're going to use to make this. All right, first let's start talking about the rub a little bit. We've got one rub we get at the butcher shop, which is, I think, pretty darn good on ribs. We had this the other day. Let's see if I can get this thing in focus. There we go. It's called Von Hansen's Porky Pete's. It's great on pork, obviously, since it's made for pork, but it's got a little heat to it. It's got some real good flavor, and it's inexpensive, and I don't have to sit down and make it, and it turns out pretty good. So that's what we're going to use for our rub. I know it's going to be yummy. And pineapple. So we're going to do something a little different this time. Normally we would, when we get to step 2, we would put some Coke in with our ribs in the foil. This time we're going to mix it up a little. We're going to put part pineapple juice, part Coca-Cola, and cayenne pepper. Because of course I'm from Texas, we got to have cayenne pepper and everything. So we're going to skip the chili powder this time. It's already got some chili powder in the rub. But we'll show you each of these steps as we do them. And we'll start the smoker up here pretty soon. But I think the goal is today we're doing 6 racks of pork ribs and a couple of beef shorts. So we've got some short ribs of beef as well that we're going to be throwing on. So we got a lot to do today. So far we've got 1.5 cups of pineapple juice, 1.5 cups of Coca-Cola. Mix that together, and let's do some cayenne pepper. I'll show you what we're doing next. We've got the ribs. We took the membrane off the back, or the butcher did that for us, which was great because probably would mess it up. And now what are we doing? Doing the rub. The rub. All right, so we took that liquid that we made with pineapple juice and Coke and some cayenne pepper, and we've sprayed that onto the backs. We're going to do the backs first, just so we have something for the rub to adhere to. And now we're going to apply the rub. All right, get to it, Peter. The rub's not cooperating. There we go. Okay. Now what do we do?
Pat it.
Pat it. Pat, pat, pat. Let's get it in there. You got your gloves on?
Yeah.
All right, you work on that one. I'll do this one.
Okay.
All right. This is the meat side, and we're gonna do that last because we want to make sure that it doesn't rub off when we flip it. So we're gonna do this one next. All right, you ready to spray? All right. And there they are. They are now have the rub on them. We're gonna foil them, set them over there with the rest of them, and let them sit until we're ready to cook. Those look yummy. It smells delicious already. Alright, so we've got all the pork ribs rubbed and wrapped until we're ready to cook. And now we've got some beef spare ribs. Living up here in Minnesota, you just cannot find, and we've looked, racks of beef ribs anywhere. All they have is spare ribs. So I've been avoiding doing any beef ribs just because I'm not a big fan of the spare ribs. But we figured, you know what, we're going to have the cooker going. The timing is going to be about the same. We might as well throw some of these on and try it out just to see how they come out. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to prep them exactly the same way. A little bit of spray and the same rub. Beef ribs are seasoned, and we're going to foil those and get the grill going. Alright, we're outside, well, obviously. And just want to show you how I'm going to set up the grill here. A little different from how I did the chicken. Here's my coals. They are ready. And down here on the Weber, just notice that I've got it completely full now. So I've got the charcoal grate full, and I've got a thing here. I'm going to pull this out. Alright, so here's what we're doing with this. This is called the minion method. And if you remember when I did the chicken we did it quick. So we didn't have to worry about trying to do a low and slow burn. Well, with these ribs, we're going to go low and slow. We're going to try and keep the fire right at 225. Well, we will. So how are we going to try and do that? Because there's going to need to be a sustained amount of time that we'll be doing this. We've got charcoal lining the outer ring. We've got a full bag of charcoal. I've got a little bit on fire that we're going to drop in. We're going to drop in right down here in the middle. And the goal is so that it starts here, but as over time, all these will start to catch, and it'll move out and move out and move out. And that will give us a more sustained low and slow cook as opposed to that high heat one we did for the chicken. So that's what we're going to do here. Try not to burn myself. There we go. Let me put this back together and we'll get started. Also different from last time, got my water pan and I have it full of hot water. I've got it foiled just to help clean it up easier. Hot water sits right on top of the fire here, as you can see. And what that's going to do is act as a heat sink to help maintain a temperature once we get it up to where we want it. And it will also create, at least in theory, I'm pretty sure it does, it creates some steam and allows moisture to float throughout this thing, mixes with the smoke, and it should help keep everything moist and all that stuff. At least that's what they say. There's a lot of debate over it, but with these things I always go with water rather than the clay pots like I did with the chicken. Alright, let me put this together. Today we're doing ribs, so we're not going to do mesquite, we're going to do some hickory, and that's what this is. It's not as pungent or bitter as hickory. It's a little bit lighter, not a lot, but a little bit. It's got a nice sweet smell to it, and we're going to do some cherry wood, bring up a little bit of sweetness here. So we're going to throw those on, get it going, and we'll be ready for ribs. Tell you what, it just smells incredible out here. All right, let's see how we're doing. We've got some good smoke going, and we are right smack on 225, and it's been holding here for a few minutes. So we're going to let it sit a while longer, for about another 20 minutes, and then we will throw the ribs on. This is going to be great. And again, let's see. Well, now we're matching pretty close. Unlike last time, we were off by 75 degrees. Good stuff. Alright, see you in a bit. The meat on. This is my bottom rack. Got 3 baby backs and some spare ribs. And let's work on the top rack now. Alright, it is 12:24 and meat has been on for, I don't know, hour, 15 minutes or so. See how things are going. I took some, I did some video earlier when I put the meat on, and unfortunately I did it in slow-mo mode, So it didn't come out very good. So if you're seeing that, if you just saw that, that's what that hot mess was. Yep, we're doing perfect. We're sitting right at 225. Things are going beautifully. There's some smoke coming out still. About 1 more hour, maybe an hour, 15 minutes. We'll probably push it to 2.5 hours or so. Took a while to warm back up. It's cold out. And then we'll do the foil. So remember, 2-2-1 method, 2 hours on the smoke, 2 hours in the foil, and 1 hour back out. Just to crisp up that bark, and we'll put some finishing sauce on it. All right, it's been smoking for a little over 2 hours, about 2 hours and 20 minutes or so. So let's take it off and see what we have. Oh my goodness, that looks phenomenal.
It's red!
Yeah, look at that.
I can't believe it. It's so good.
All right, so I'll show you the next step when I get to it here. That's just the top rack. So good. All right, so we're going to take each rack of rib, flip it meat side down, and put about 1/4 cup of our juice that we made with pineapple juice, Coca-Cola, and cayenne pepper. And we're going to wrap it up and put it back on the grill. We're going to do each rack individually. We got everything foiled. I got the juice in. It's back on, waiting for it to come back up to temperature. I had the lid off, so it's going to take a little while. I had the lid off for probably 5 minutes, so it's going to take a while, and then we'll start our next 2-hour count as soon as it's back up to temperature. Got some smoke still going. That thing is stuffed full of food. It's going to be yummy. Somebody is really wanting some ribs tonight. Is it cooking?
Smoke is coming.
Okay, let's finish step 2 of the 2-2-1 method. 2 hours in the wrap. Putting them back on. We just sauced them. This is the lower rack, and we're gonna go work on the top rack. All right, we should be done. Let's take a look and see. Oh my goodness, these look fantastic. They smell great. Wish you could smell that. All right, the only way to know for sure is to do the bend test. We're gonna do that now. Grab. We should bend, if I can grab it. Yep. Bend as far as I... Oh yeah. Yep, they're done. Alright, I'm gonna go get a plate and a lot of plates and bring this stuff in. Alright, and here's our final product. We've got the ribs cut. Here's the pork ribs, and that's the beef ribs. They actually turned out looking better than I thought they would. Let's see if we can get in close and tight. See the smoke ring all the way around. They're nice and juicy. This is going to be good eating. What do you think? You ready?